What's going on, everyone? Badger here. Sure, like and sub, and let's get into this. And people are wising up to Sweet Baby Inc. Finally, at least some companies are. They're understanding the negative connotation to working with them. Sweet Baby Inc. removing Square Enix from its client list. This is just the start here. And you can see, yes, they used to have Square Enix loud and proud right there in the middle, right between Ubisoft and Warner Brothers. And now, oh, it's gone. So, and this is on the heels of, we saw here in June, of this person is a shareholder asking Square Enix. I'm personally happy about the shift from quality or quantity to quality. I hope good titles will come out in the future. I'm concerned about the Canadian consulting company Sweet Baby. Square Enix is listed as a client, but is there actually a transaction there? What kind of transaction is it? Will they continue in the future? And of course, we got to respond. I would like to refrain from making comments about individual clients as we shift from quantity to quality. Providing content that is enjoyable and safe for our customers is also part of what makes a product fun, and we will do our best as creators. And it seems like their best was to disassociate from Sweet Baby Inc. So that was that answer, and it's a good time because you can see here, I swear, they all look the same to me. Not black women or men or whatever this is, but Sweet Baby Inc. employees. They all just sort of had the same look. I thought this was Ash Parrish, but this is actually someone named Cameron Wild. And they just say the quiet part out loud that indeed they are trying to burn the gaming industry to the ground, which if they meant the bloated budgets and the DLC taken out to be sold back and season passes and the nickel and diming and all that, I might agree with them. But they don't mean that. And when I say they, I do mean they, because this person claims to be non-binary, if that's a thing. Let's see, in a presentation titled How to Get Away with Murder, Subverting Genre Expectations, the game developers of Color Expo, and you shout out Kirsha for discovering this, Wild introduces himself saying he is a narrative designer and sensitivity reader with a company called Sweet Baby Inc. Narrative designer and sensitivity reading. They're the mobsters that go in and, it would be a shame if there was a horrible attack campaign on you. Maybe you should have a sensitivity reading for your paper there. Just make sure. All right, so this is one of the things. So why am I here? We want cooler stories. Fine. A safer world. Okay. Burning the games industry to the ground. Oh, well, we escalated a little bit there, didn't we? Yeah, we escalated. Why am I still here? To stop people who are uncomfortable hearing that not every story is theirs to own. That's ironic because that is something that they fail to understand, that not every story is yours to own, but they certainly try. To prove that space where whiteness doesn't have to live, is where some of the best stories are told. Interesting, interesting. I'd love to hear that be reframed with a different ethnicity. When you do genre well, it's about going deep into that well of discomfort and telling a story that has bite. Those are the kind of stories that make me feel real. Because she needs to be validated by fictional work in order to feel real as a human. That's what happens when you have an imaginary identity. Death of the Edgelord. Yes, and this begins the rant of her Django. She went after Django, said the presentation then turns into a takedown of Tarantino, with Wild stating, I do think Tarantino's work does need to be critiqued out of existence, and that he specifically has to be addressed in any discussion of that work, because Tarantino is capable of genre filmmaking, but the genre he's chosen with Django is black exploitation. It's not black exploitation at all. Black Dynamite would be black exploitation. This is the West. Anyway, it's a Western revenge flick. She must think that all the black people that work for him are just idiots. Because I think even Sam Jackson has talked about this multiple times, that Tarantino is not racist despite his liberal use of the N-word in his scripts. He, at least in Sam's experience, he's not. He always gives Sam's the most intelligent character in all of his films. So very hard for a racist to write that. And why? I have my own pet theories. Personally, I think it's the same thing we see with any non-black creator who thinks that black people are cool but can't really examine the covetous nature of their feelings or their own role in black stories. People in life met a black person that they wanted to follow, fuck, or befriend, and never resolved it. The equivalent of a little boy pulling on a little girl's pigtails, but it's a white filmmaker in black paint. And that should show you the mental illness that we're dealing with right here. And just following out on the things she was talking about, Good genre starts with representation on the creative team. So before anything, your creative team needs to, of course, and when she means diverse, or they, whatever, mean diverse, they don't mean diverse in thinking or ideology, or or even looking, really. Diversity just means no white people to them. And that's, I think they've proven that in a billion. A space where whiteness doesn't need to exist. Good genre. The identity of your character, specifically your heroes, must define their challenges in the narrative, but it must also define their triumphs. Now, their identity is not the identity that you and I think, i.e., if she were writing Star Wars, Luke's whiteness would have given him a privilege that he could have used to beat the Empire, or some dumb shit like that. That's about all I can handle. So the end takeaway here, though, is that Square Enix and other companies are starting to move away. They're starting to disavow. Are those companies already corrupted by some of the same thought processes? Yes, they are. But course correction is course correction, and you got to start somewhere. Let me know what you think of all this. Do you too see the stink of Sweet Baby Inc. Becoming harder or easier to get off, depending on if you disavow now? I don't know. Let me know what you think. Make sure to like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're gonna do that, thank you.
Well,